Hi, welcome to Busy, Smart, and Strong. I'm Becky Lynn, and today we are talking divorce. Now, it's not a pleasant subject. Nobody likes to talk about divorce, but it happens. And I have a guest here today, Nancy Hetrick, who is a certified divorce financial analyst, a CDFA. Did I get that right?
You did. You got it exactly right.
Smarter Divorce Solutions is the name of her company. Is that the website as well?
It is.
Okay.
Exactly.
So smarterdivorcesolutions.com if you're interested. What is a CDFA?
A CDFA is a Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, and we generally come from a background of being financial advisors or accountants, in my case a financial advisor, and we help couples or individuals make sure that when they're structuring their divorce settlements, they're taking all the financial intricacies into effect, making sure assets are valued properly, making sure that pension plans are valued properly, and making sure that when you do agree on a settlement, you don't make big tax mistakes. We want to help you make sure you keep as much of your own money as possible and give as little to Uncle Sam as possible.
There's so many things to think about when it comes to that. I mean,
really
I'm sure most people would not automatically take into consideration tax issues.
They don't.
They just I want what's coming to me and I want out of this and that
Right.
sort of thing. But one of the things that Nancy brought to my attention, and I found this very interesting, is that you said the divorce rate is dropping in America.
Yes, and it's interesting how you look at that. So not the divorce rate per married couples, okay, that continues to rise, but the actual number of divorces each year is falling quite rapidly. And when you look into that number, the reason is 20-somethings and early 30-somethings are not getting married anymore. They're living together, they're having children together, which has now become socially acceptable.
Yeah, that's true.
And we're having a lot of what is commonly referred to as serial monogamy, where people will live together, have relationships for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, sometimes even longer, and then sometimes split up and move on. And what couples don't understand is when they do that, they are so financially vulnerable. A lot of couples assume that they're protected by common law marriage statutes. And what they don't realize is only 16 states in this country have common law marriage statutes.
That flabbergasted me. And Arizona is one that does not have a common law. And I would have thought Arizona definitely had one. Right. So take that into consideration. Yep. We are not a common law state. Only 16 are. And you can Google that, I'm sure. But so legal problems for people who are living together. Give me an example of a pitfall that someone could fall into.
Well, I think the most dangerous situation is for the woman that chooses to stay home with children while her mate is working. If that relationship falls apart in year 5 and she hasn't worked in 5 years, if they'd been protected by marriage, she would most likely be awarded some level of spousal maintenance to help her get back on her feet after a divorce. Without the protection of marriage, the only thing she's going to get is child support, and that's it. So now she's kind of on her own to figure out how she's going to make a living.
And you told me right before we started this, a very scary story. You've got to share this with everybody because she just talked about someone who's been living with someone for 5 years. Tell this story.
So I met a woman this weekend who is 64 and is breaking up with her partner of 34 years. And they started their relationship in Alaska, which is also not a common law state.
Unbelievable.
And unfortunately, as everyone knows, when relationships break up, they not always break up on friendly terms.
That's true.
And she has absolutely no choice but to leave with absolutely nothing.
After 34 years.
He refuses to give her anything, and she has no legal rights to claim anything.
Unbelievable. Well, so there you go. There's just a couple of the pitfalls, and I'm sure there are many more, whether it's living together, and as you heard, if your marriage is ending, and while it's never a pleasant subject, one last thing, if someone is living with someone, is there anything they can do to protect themselves?
Yes, absolutely. The one thing you want to do is draft a simple cohabitation agreement. Go online, Google cohabitation agreement. You'll find many, many different samples, and they'll give you ideas of thinking of things that you probably didn't think of before, and they're great discussion items for you and your mate to find out too if you're financially financially compatible. That can be a really early warning sign that maybe this might not be the person you want to hook your financial anchor to.
Wow, we could go on and on. Nancy Hetrick, a certified divorce financial analyst. I'll get those letters right sooner or later. SmarterDivorceSolutions.com. Thanks for being with us on Busy, Smart, and Strong.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thanks for watching.